You ever get that feeling, that kind of flatness to things lately? Like you have all these options, but nothing really lands? Well, today we're going to dive right into why that's happening and, more importantly, what you can actually do about it. Seriously, take a second and ask yourself, when did everything start feeling a little flat? You probably can't pinpoint the exact day, right? But you know something shifted. That excitement you used to feel for stuff, a new project, plans for the weekend, even just a new movie, it doesn't hit the same way anymore, does it?
And you definitely know this feeling. You open your phone or your laptop, your streaming service, and you just scroll and scroll through this endless sea of options, just looking for something, anything to grab your attention.
I mean, the options are literally infinite. It's like a fire hose of things to watch, places to go, stuff to buy, and it's aimed right at you 24/7. But here's the crazy part. Instead of feeling exciting, it just feels, well, overwhelming. And that's really the heart of the problem, isn't it? Even with this whole universe of choice, your interest just doesn't seem to hook on to anything. It all kind of slides past. And let's be really clear about something, because this is super important. This isn't necessarily clinical depression. You're still functional, right? You're getting things done, you're showing up for work, for family. But deep down, that the emotional texture of your life has changed. It's like a certain color has just faded.
So, what is actually going on here? Well, first off, it's not some kind of personal failure. Not at all. It's a totally normal biological and psychological response to the crazy world we live in now. Let's dig into the science of having way too much.
Okay, this right here, this comparison, it perfectly shows the huge mismatch between how our brains are wired and the world we actually live in. See, our brains were built for the world on the left, a world of scarcity where you had to put in real effort, you had to wait for things. But now we live in the world on the right, a world of total abundance where everything is instant and on demand. And that massive shift leads to this really powerful thing our brains do called hedonic adaptation. Okay, so in simple terms, it just means your brain gets used to whatever level of stimulation it's getting. So when that stimulation is constantly super high, your baseline for what feels good or exciting, well, it just keeps rising and rising. So what's the result? Well, this is it. Think about it. A really great meal, a new episode of your favorite show, getting a like online. That stuff used to feel like a special reward. Now, it's just normal. And normal, unfortunately, feels like nothing. But, there's actually a deeper layer to all this. The famous psychologist Carl Jung, he had a concept for this. It's the part of you that you've kind of suppressed for safety, or just for convenience. He called it the unlived life, and he believed that this feeling of flatness, it isn't just a brain chemistry thing. It's a deep signal from your soul, really, that some essential part of you is being ignored. And this quote from the neuroscientist Anna Lemke, wow, it just nails the central paradox here. She says, we are a species running dopamine deficits not because we have too little pleasure in our lives, but because we have too much. Just think about that. We're chasing pleasure so hard that we've actually broken the very system that lets us feel it. We've got too much, and it's leaving us feeling empty. So this puts us in a really dangerous loop, right? Our natural instinct when we feel flat is to go looking for more stimulation. But that's the trap. That very act of seeking is what jacks up our baseline even higher and just makes the whole problem worse. The cure becomes the disease.
Okay, so that's the problem, and it's a big one. But here's the good news, and it's really good news. You are not stuck like this. Your system can totally be reset. So let's walk through a really practical plan to do just that, to recalibrate. All right, here it is, your recalibration plan. It's 3 pretty straightforward strategies to help recalibrate your brain's reward system and, reconnect with what actually matters. So let's break them down one by one. Okay, first up, a dopamine fast. Now, this isn't about removing all pleasure from your life. Not at all. It's about strategically picking one major source of that high, easy dopamine, like social media or nonstop streaming, and just removing it for a few weeks. The goal is super simple. Let your baseline drop back down to normal. Yeah, the first few days might feel a little weird, a little uncomfortable, but I promise, after a week or two, you'll start to notice that ordinary things, like a walk outside or a real conversation, they actually start to feel good again. Number 2, earn your pleasure. This is all about deliberately rebuilding that connection between effort and reward, a connection that our modern world has pretty much destroyed. So, you choose to cook a meal instead of just ordering one. You choose to read a book instead of binge watching a show. And look, this has nothing to do with being good or bad. It's about retraining your brain. It's about reminding your nervous system that, hey, a reward feels so much better when you've actually earned it. And third, we have this more intuitive kind of Jungian approach, follow the flicker. What does that mean? It means start paying attention to those small, seemingly random things that spark even a tiny bit of genuine curiosity in you. That right there, that's the whisper from your unlived life. Don't overthink it. Don't ask if it's productive or good use of your time. Just move toward it. That little flicker is your internal compass, and it's pointing you away from the flatness. So when you put it all together, what's the single most important thing to take away from all this? I think it's about fundamentally reframing what this feeling of flatness actually means. And I really want you to let this sink in. The emptiness you're feeling, it is not a character flaw. It is not a sign that you're ungrateful or lazy or broken. It's a signal. It's actually really valuable information. It's your nervous system and your psyche sending you a very clear, very urgent message that says, hey, the way we're doing things right now, it isn't working. This should feel like a huge relief. You don't need some massive, dramatic reinvention. You don't have to blow up your entire life and start over. All you need is a recalibration, just some small, deliberate adjustments to how you engage with the world around you. And this, right here, this is maybe the most important thing to remember through all of this. Your capacity for joy, for excitement, for real meaning, it hasn't gone anywhere. It hasn't vanished. It's just been buried under a giant mountain of overstimulation. So I'll just leave you with this final question. That voltage is still there. Your aliveness, your excitement, it's right there, waiting just under the surface. The only question is, what will you unplug to find it? What's the one thing, starting today, that you can unplug to start digging it out?